tutorial is going to be about making full page galleries and full page carousels in Elementor using some different add-ons. So the clients requested to look at this page and asking if they could have a gallery that takes up the full page with button and text that overlay, such as this page, which makes me a little bit confused because, well, let's get the words right. This is kind of like a gallery because it's got individual images, as you can see here in a grid, a 3-column and 2-row grid. And when you click on it, it goes to a different page. So that's kind of like a gallery. There's different types of galleries. But just because they've said button and text over the top of it, I'm thinking they're wanting to recreate this one. So there's a few things to remember. The first thing to remember is when you're going to from edge to edge, it needs to be responsive, and it's going to look quite different on mobile devices and desktop. But look, let's just start by recreating this image. So what we've got here is, I would call this either a slideshow or a carousel. So let's just recreate that here on this website. Whoops, I just realized I need to log in. And now I'm logged in. The first thing I notice is that there's some updates that need to be done. So if you're using WordPress, just make sure you keep all your updates up to date. It's really is best practice. Just make sure that you've got our server backs up each day, so I can step it back a day. In fact, soon the server will update every hour, which will make life incredibly easy. But I also use Backup Buddy, which is a good idea in case you do something that's going to break the entire site. But look, I'm pretty confident that these updates are going to go through without breaking the site, so I'll just do them very, very quickly. You should always keep your website up to date. All right, let's go back to the front page, and let's have a look at how this carousel was created first up. So we'll go into Elementor and just have a quick look at it. And what we've got here, oh, I don't know why there's a blank. Oh, I see that. Tried to go with the image gallery at the top. It looks like we'll see that would be one way to do it. But if you use that as an image gallery, there's absolutely no way that you can get images on top on text or buttons on top of that. That's not the way that particular image gallery works. Although we could do that, but just we'd have to go about it a different way. But just to recreate the previous site, so let's have a look. So yes, this is an image carousel, and yes, the image is full width. But let's have a look at the actual layout of the section, which is like the parent of everything inside it, and that is boxed. So that will need to go to full width. All right, now let's have a look at the images inside that carousel. So is that just one complete image? Let's have a look. That's one image there, and that's another image there. All right, so slider to show one image, and image stretch, we will say yes. Navigation, arrows and dots. If we're going to be just like this one, we would just go with dots. There's other ones that we can put the dots on top of the actual page, but that would be a different one, I think. Autoplay, yes, all of that. Infinite loop, yes, yes, yes. Style, pagination, position, here we go. So now I can put the dots inside, but now they disappear because they're black and you can't see them correctly. Look, let's just see them correctly with a green, but we can always make that bigger. We'll make it 20 so you can see it, and the active color, we'll make that a different color that you can see. Okay, so there's 2 dots, all right, and you can play around with that. All right, so now it's a case of working out what images are going to fit in this space, because these images are enormous. There's also a little bit of space. See that white space? So the image isn't going straight to the edge there. Let's try and work out why. We'll put in 0 in as the padding, and now it's going right to the edge. Okay. And now if we have a look back at this one, right, we'll see now what we need to do is get text and stuff on top of that. So now we actually have to go about it a different way. I'm going to change plans, just a sec. Let's just try this a different way. What we'll do now is we'll actually delete this image gallery that we've just made. Delete that. And what we'll do is select this section here and style background. What we'll do is a slideshow. So we'll just choose those same images there for the slideshow, and we'll drop them in. There are other ways to do it. Like, by the way, look, this particular slideshow, just out of interest, let's see if we can work out how this was built. And is this, no, this is just a flat website. So that's just some sort of template that they've probably used for a flat website slideshow at the top. So we'll have to just do it our way. Okay, so I rethought this a little bit. I thought, okay, how are we going to create the slider just like on that example website? So I had a quick search for Elementor add-ons that I've got access to. And one is CrocoBlock, and we'll quickly look at that. And another one I own is the Plus Addons. All right. So Elementor slider blocks on the Plus Addons. Here you can pretty much create a slideshow of anything. And I like the way this one looks. You can just drag it along and get the different blocks. There you can see the text and the Buy Now button. In this case, the background image is a gradient. A similar example of a slider here. And that's, look, in my experience, the Plus is good, but it does get complicated for people. And I want to keep this simple for this particular client because they're just starting out in WordPress. So instead, I'm going to go in with the CrocoBlock version. As you can see here, there's a nice looking slideshow there, and hopefully we can put those dots in line. We will soon find out. So what I've done is I've added the CrocoBlock license here for the client. They can install all the Jet plugins. You can see here, just a sec, update and installation. There's a ton of things that you could install here if you wanted, but all I have done so far is add the Jet widgets, the Jet elements, sorry, or Jet widgets, and that's to keep the website trim and slim. We only activate things as we need them. And similarly, the Jet plugins that's installed under the widgets and extensions, the only thing I've got turned on here, in fact, I'll turn this off as well, is I've got advanced carousel, because that might be an option, or I've got slider there. So, and it's asked for an update, so we'll just update the database while we're there. And now we'll go back to that page and try those new widgets and see what we like. So I'll come in here and edit with Elementor again. And here, I'll just start again with that section. I'll just put a new section in and make sure it's a full width section. And now we'll drop in some widgets and we'll find the new CrocoBlock one or Jet Elements one here below. So there's advanced carousel. Let's start off with the slider. Hopefully this will do what we want. It's built a little bit differently, this one. So here's slide number 1. We'll grab that first image. And here is slide number 2. We will grab that second image. And already that's looking a lot more how the client would want it, I think. And we don't have a slide 3, so we'll just get rid of that for now. There's the text, there's the buttons. At the moment, there's pictures below. So let's see if we can't edit that. So I'll just put this on pause while I look through the options. All right, so I found the button for that. It's on that first content section, display thumbnails or not, and we'll turn that off. And at the moment, we've got the arrows, but it'd be better off having the dots. So I'll just work out how to do that. Okay, so on this one, the dots is called use pagination. And so we'll get rid of the navigation, we'll get rid of those arrows, and we'll just have the dots. Now the dots are at the bottom of the page. Hopefully I can change that. Just bear with me while I have a look. All right, so then on the next section of this slider, under style, under pagination, it looks like we've got a container offset there. So let's see if we can put in, yep, we can put in negative values. Excellent. And that gets the dots with inside the page. You've also got the dot style there. So there is a style there for the dots, the classic dots. There's the background color where you can change the color of the dots. All right. So let's have a look at this page. Now it's looking quite like that. The only difference is you've only got the option on this one, I believe, to put the button below. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a problem or not. Let's have a look. So the action button, at the moment, center, but we can't put that into a different column, unfortunately. So if that's going to be an issue, let me know, and I'll have to create, we would probably have to use the Plus Addons carousel anything, where I'd have a little bit more control over the content layout on there, but this might be good enough for you. Let me know. Once again, we don't have that slider filling in fully there, so we'll change all the padding to 0. Now it goes edge to edge completely. If we're going to make it look like this site has a menu and a logo over on the left. This site, I should also point out, looking at it, it's built responsively, which means it's done a full page menu, and it really does depend on how big your page size is before it comes down there to that hamburger menu. So just be aware of that. They've gone for a full page up there. Let's just recreate that. So what we'll do is we'll update this page. We'll go back and look at it on the front end. We'll fix up this this header now and get it looking more like that other one. So we don't want a button here on the top. What we want is a logo. So that's a button. We'll just delete that button. We'll put in a logo by just simply dragging in an image there. Let's see if we've got a logo. We don't have a logo in the library at the moment, so I'll just use this generic one. And we don't need 2 columns if we're just going to have one menu. So we will get rid of the best site bizzo, delete that, and drop in a menu. Let's see what menus we've got available now. Just remembering, if there's not an option here in the widget gallery for what you want, we can always add in extra plugins. There's always a different widget that will do things slightly differently. So there's a lot of stuff there to explore depending on what you want. So we need to select a menu. We'll go main menu. We'll go layout, horizontal, skin. There's different skins to select, but I prefer doing it myself. There's the hamburger option. So you can set that for how wide you want that. We can probably set that somewhere else. No, it doesn't have a breakpoint there, which is interesting. That's all right. It might be an automatic one. So style. So the background item, we don't actually want anything. We'll get rid of that. So there's no background on that main menu. The top level items. just bear with me while I play with these settings again. This may not have been the best menu to use. I find this one a little bit clumsy, I must admit, because when I got rid of the color, it made it gray. But when I go into the color and I choose the opacity, I can make it go invisible, but I'm not completely satisfied with that. At the moment, when you hover over it, it changes the background color to red. So that's got to do with the top level item under hover. And we could change the text color to go, let's just grab that red there, the hex code for that red there. We'll make that the hover color, and the actual background color, we'll make that, we'll keep that invisible, okay? So now when we hover over, we just see it go red there. Now, obviously, we're not going to see any of that at the moment because it's white text on a white background. So let's just fix that up. I've updated the page. We can come back to here. I press refresh, and now we just see is white, white, white. Okay. And so that means now we can go into this page and use the reverse margin using pixels there and drag that right up to the top. All right, for some reason we're not seeing that logo. I'll just double check that. So we'll update that. Go and look on the front of the page and just check this. There should be a logo in there of full. Maybe we deleted that logo from the image library. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why we're not seeing that logo there. Just to try and just problem solve this very quickly, I'll just put in a very quick image and anything image. So we can have a look over here. There's still a white line at the top, which I'll get rid of. All right, that image is showing. That's odd. So maybe this image was deleted, this white logo. Oh, it's also probably because it's SVG. And, you know, one quick look. It's not always great to use SVG images, but they do actually save space. So what I'm going to do, I noticed that there was a very quick option here under Jet plugin settings. It did actually, under general settings, it did actually, SVG images upload status. Yep, that's enabled the uploading and widgets and extensions. Inline SVG. All right, so we can use SVG images, but we'll probably just have to use them in a different way. So we'll look for a widget there called SVG. No? All right, so under CrocoBlock, let me just update this and refresh it. So under CrocoBlock, inline SVG, we'll drop that in, and that way we can use SVG images. All right, SVG, style, alignment, we'll make it go left, update that, and let's see what that looks like. All right, so now we can see that SVG image. Now let's just get rid of that white line. So again, we choose this. Sometimes we need to use the navigator when it's hiding up there below, behind the header. And again, go to advanced and just increase that space up just a little bit more. And that should be fine now. So let's have a look at that page. And now, when we get responsive, I don't like the way that hamburger menu drops down so far below. Look, that's got to do with a few different things. So layout position, column position, middle. That's why that's happening. We'll keep keep that at the top, and refresh this, and now when it goes to the hamburger menu, it's still further down. Not ideal. Let's have another look at that. Elementor. Let's look at this column. Vertical align top. Section. Vertical align. I'm still at the middle for some reason. Alright. Top, top, top. That should have fixed it. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Refresh the page. Move the browser. Now that stupid hamburger menu is still in the middle. Alright. I might get a different menu plugin in here, because this one is not playing ball. Look, as I mentioned, that was probably not my favorite menu anyway. So let me just replace this widget. We'll delete this widget here. And we'll find another one. Let's see what we've got. When I type in menu, that's the one that we use, the EA advanced menu. So let's not use that. They've got simple menu, and we've got the UAE navigation menu. Let's give this one a shot. This is probably going to work better. Already, I'm liking what I see better. Layout, that's more intuitive, having that over there. Style, we've got our typography, text color. That's more intuitive there already. And the hover, have we still got red in our memory? Yep. So that'll probably do the trick already. So let's have a look at that. All right, and when we resize the page, it's bringing that hamburger menu in there. Look, this must be to do with the settings for that hamburger menu. So what we need to do now is look at the, we've got the layout there over to the right, side menu, tablet, toggle button, menu, and then under style, menu trigger and close icon. We'll make it 30 pixels. We'll make it white. The hover can be red again just for now. And just double check all these sections. Column position top. Vertical align, we'll make that top. In this column, vertical align top. All right. And so what does that look like now? Right, when we resize our page, it's still coming in there. That is odd. All right, I found the problem. The problem is that when I went into the responsive settings and clicked on mobile phone, this column is actually set to 100% width on a mobile. What we'll do is we'll change that to, say, 70 or less. Let's go. So we'll make that column say 20, and then that column can fit in over here. Actually, what we'll do is we'll make that column 50, and then that column can be 49. And now that should look perfect. What I'm using now, I've got this I've got a particular browser. It's called Sizzy, and it lets me look at all the different mobile phones, not just one type of mobile phone, all the different tablets and everything. So you just need to keep an eye on that. So it needs to be fixed up for tablet as well. But I think that looks closer now on the tablet version. On the mobile phone version. On the tablet, we just need to do the same thing. I'd probably make that 50. Column width 50, and that column width can be 50 or 49. And it's not taking our column width now. It's being annoying. Anyway, just let me try and fix that up. Look, that's probably not too bad how it is now. Take more fiddling around with it. I've also put some padding inside that section just to bring the logo out from the sides and the menu out from the sides. Now, look, what I think is probably a good idea now is just to do one more slideshow just so you've got some options. All right, now, just to show you a more advanced way to do the slides, I've added the Plus Addons as well, and I have turned on Carousel Anything. As you can see, there's a ton of different ways to build content in the Plus, and so many features, it's crazy. But I only turn things on as you actually need them. So I've turned on Carousel Anything. And so now, again, we make a new section here. We make sure it's a full width section. We go to the widgets, and down the bottom here under the plus, you'll see there's the Carousel Anything option. It's similar to the other one in a way. We've got slides 1 and 2. So, but the thing is, instead of the content type being images and things, we can select a shortcode or we can select a template. Now, we haven't made a template yet that will fit in there. So let's make a template, and that can be a full page slideshow. So what we'll do is we've made another section. We'll make it full width. On the style on the background, we'll make that first image go in there in the background. We'll center it in center, vertical and horizontal. It can be a scroll image, no repeat, and size cover. And just so that we can make it like this, it's just a heading talking about an album. So we'll do that first. What we need 2 columns for that type of layout. So I'll just go in and edit this column and duplicate it with a right click. On one side of the column, we'll put in a text heading here, and Stargazer album launch coming December, let's say, and let's style this up to make it look how we want. So we'll use heading 2 is fine. We'll use a heading 2. We'll make it left aligned. We'll put in a bunch of padding. We can use percentages on this. We'll put in 22 on the right and say 22 on the left. We'll change the color of the text to white. And we can make this typography as big as you want. So if, say, we use M's, make it 3 M's. We can change the line height. Say make that 1.3. No, that's not. That's in pixels. 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, 1.9 M's. Now we probably want some. Padding above and below as well. So let's go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there's the text. Obviously, you can add more if you want to see more of a face there. And also, just going back to the other site. So now we've got a listen now. If you want it exactly like that, the easiest way to do that would be using an icon list, because that's a picture of an icon and some text. So it's got the, we'll just use an icon list. There's other ways to do this. So we get rid of those items and we look for an arrow. Let's see if we can find it by arrow. Yes, we can. So there's that white arrow. and listen now. And then you need to put in your link. So I'll just find some music somewhere. I don't know, YouTube. I don't know. Who am I listening to? Gorilla Toss. Probably spelt that wrong. Sorry. So I'll just grab that there. That can be the link. So here, listen now, link. Now we want it to open up in a new window so that people don't leave the website. Now we've got to style this button. So what we want to do is make the icon. You can play around with this. I'm just going to do it very simply. Icon white, text color white. What we'll do now is we'll just center everything here on the middle of the page vertically. So middle, and on this column, vertical align, horizontal align. Let's go to, no, that's not working there for that one. What would we do for this one, for this icon list? Alignment center. All right. And that's about the most you can do. It's not so prominent there as it is there. They've used the gold color, gold on black. This doesn't show up so well on top of that photo. Obviously, you could make it bigger. We could also think about, instead of it being vertically aligned, we could go for a bottom alignment. It's still not very noticeable. So probably put in an icon size of 20, and the text size, we could go, let's go for M's, 2 M's. Listen now. I don't like that font. Is that just left over from when I just installed this for you? Do you remember how to update the fonts under the customizer? Anyway, I'll let you do that. Make that icon bigger. It's still not that readable. How could we change that? There's a background here, but it'll probably apply to that whole width of that. Let's just see what that looks like with the background color. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it does need a background color, and what we need to do, and remembering, if we do this change here, then width, we'll go custom width of percentages. About that much, but you'd have to change that for iPad, and you'd need to change that for mobile as well. Position, so style, we wanted the center alignment, but that's not actually working well in this section. Layout, inline, default, inline, no, we'll go for the default. I'll just put this on pause while I play around with it a bit. Okay, that's better. What I've done is, under the column, I've done a horizontal align of center, and here under the icon list, I've gone for an alignment of center. So probably now we can make that whole design go to the middle, potentially. If you need any more help moving those elements around, let me know. All right, so now we can save this as a template. So save as template, and we'll call it slide 1. I encourage you to use a more meaningful name. This is just for now. All right. And that's saved in the content library now. And what we'll do now, because that's already saved as a template, what we'll do now is we'll just make up that second slide, same thing. Insert the new media, and we'll call it Gaze Stars album launch coming December. Listen now, and we will save that as slide number 2, and save that. All right, they're saved as templates now, so we can always call them back if we need them. It doesn't matter if we delete that section. We come back into here, just get rid of that navigator so we can see this. If you can't see that pencil icon, click on that to get into these slides, and we'll select a template. What we need to do is just press update and refresh the page because it's not seeing those templates that we just added. So just refresh that page and come back into this little section here. And slide number 1, select the template, we go slide 1. Slide number 2, select a template, we'll go slide number 2. All right, so now we've got our slides in place and they're sliding across. So we've got carousel options. We've got show arrows, and we've got dots overlay. Overlay content dots, that's on, but we can't see them because they're black. So we'll change those dots to white. And I'm still not seeing them. Dot style 1. Show dots on. Oh, that's the dots border color. Excuse me. Just refresh that. Just bear with me while I look for this dots color. That was a funny one. When I chose the dot style, it gave me more options here. So dots border color, that doesn't, we need to put in a border size, I think. The dots background color, white, and the active button can be green. Dots active background color, green. All right, that's better. So those dots look all right. So there's 2 different types of slides now. So 2 different options. Now that's what I thought you meant by gallery with because of what But if you meant that grid section, I can show you that as well. And again, it's going to come down to, you can either just build it straight up. So let's just do it very quickly. So if we're going to do this style here, the first thing to recognize is that's two column section, this half and this half. So that's how we would break it down. We would make 2 column section like that. Oh, remembering we got to remove that padding over here because it's not going edge to edge. All right, so 0, 0, 0 padding on the column as well as the section, in case you get into trouble there. And this would need to be full width to do that. I think we've got in memory, so what have we got over here? We've got a video that's sitting inside of a column with a black background. So we'll make the background black or grey, whatever. Again, padding 0, padding for that column, and padding for the section. Now we're not seeing the padding there. Let's just have a look. Layout, widget space, 0. We'll come back, we'll problem solve that in a moment. Just bear with me. First of all, we'll chuck in a video. That's your basic video. There's other videos there. I think I've covered that in a previous video anyway. That went away as soon as I put in that video, so that's good. Put in a link. All right, so there's half of the one over there. Just going back to this. Then we've got 3 and 3. So what we'll do now is we'll just drop a new section into here and just duplicate that column to make it 3. And once again, what we need to do is make sure that there's 0 padding in here. So everything goes in and touches the edges. And that's for the second column inside that main section, but also all the columns inside that new section here. They all need to go to 0 padding, all right? And then if we have a look over here, so that's just a photo with a link to an Instagram page. So to do that, there's a couple of ways. My first thought would just be to put in an image, any old image. Choose an image. We'll just use the water one for now. Put that in there.